Support for High School Bowl comes from L. Blondo and Sons Trucking, commercial hauling of sand and gravel throughout the Upper Peninsula for over 50 years. And by the Ray and Peg Hervanen Foundation. High School Bowl is a production of Public TV 13 in partnership with the intermediate school districts and regional educational service agencies of the Upper Peninsula.
The Thrilla in Manila, the Rumble in the Jungle, the Showdown at Studio B. Stay tuned for the championship game of High School Bowl between the Gladstone Braves and the Marquette Redmen, on demand now for only $5.95 plus tax.
Major production funding for High School Bowl is provided by New Page, Escanaba Operations. New Page, delivering on the promise of paper. Public TV 13 presents High School Bowl. Here to play the 2007 championship game are the Gladstone Braves against the Marquette Redmen. Now, here's your host, Gigi Gordon.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Thank you, audience. We're very excited here. We're all set to go with our final game. You know, we started last fall with 50 teams and only 2 are still in it, Gladstone and Marquette. So let's meet these teams vying for this year's championship, starting with Gladstone.
Ryan Thompson, senior.
Alex Wellman, senior.
Zach Bennett, senior and team capitan.
Nicole Makowski, senior.
That's the Gladstone team, and now down to Marquette.
Andy Sikkema, senior.
Matt Nyquist, senior.
Ben Savoy, senior, team captain.
Hannah Rutkowski, senior.
Let's have a big round of applause for these teams. They've had stellar seasons. And we want to introduce their coaches as well. Coaching Gladstone, in the middle of your screen, is Coach Rich Trombley, but he's joined with honorary coach for this game, Mr. Steve Bennett. Steve is the father of Gladstone's this year captain, Zach Bennett, and also Nate Bennett, who was a prior winner of the Dave Goldsmith Award. And then we have on the left of your screen, Jesse Kinalainen, who is the coach of the Marquette team, and we congratulate all the coaches and wish you well in this game. Thanks for being here. We also want to extend a welcome to the alternates. We have standing by for Gladstone, Mariah Zanbazoff and Sean Knutson, and for Marquette, Mia Chinelli and Amy Schertz. Thanks for being here, alternates. And still at their posts after a long season of High School Bowl, we have our 2 key officials. At timekeeper, we have Jessica Hanks from Northern Michigan University. She's a student. And at judge, Professor John Kiltonen from the mathematics faculty. Let's give them a big round of applause. And there is the signal to begin this championship game. Good luck to both teams. Here's your first toss-up. It was long one of America's most conservative states. Thompson.
Virginia.
It maintained an established, Wellman.
Maryland.
Church, Rutkowski.
Utah.
Until 1818, Bennett.
Massachusetts.
Voted for Federalist presidential candidates until 1820, and voted for Herbert Hoover's re-election in 1932. Savoy.
New York.
For 10 points, can you name this state that in 2000 voted heavily against the presidential candidate who had been born there? Bennett.
South Carolina.
Marquette? Savoy?
Tennessee.
Nope, it is Connecticut, the birthplace of George W. Bush, I think, or John Kerry. Actually, I'm not sure. Let's try a new toss-up. This word properly means large-scale winds caused by annual, Bennett?
Monsoon.
Monsoon is right for 10 points. And here's another water-related question, 20-point bonus for Gladstone. During the March to May rainy season, its spray rises 1,000 feet, blocking out the sky over this natural wonder that received its western name in 1855 from Dr. David Livingstone. For 10 points each, can you name this mile-wide African waterfall and the river whose waters plunge 355 feet over it?
Victoria Falls.
That's the river. That's the falls. And the river is?
The Nile.
It's the Zambezi River, so you get 10 points for that bonus. And here's your next toss-up. You might need your paper and pencil for this. Write out the words 1 plus 12. Those words are both an anagram and mathematically equivalent to, for 10 points, the words 2 plus, Nyquist?
10.
Nope. Thompson?
11.
11 is right for 10 points. So Gladstone, try this 20-point bonus. The first uses pressurized air. The second uses a non-compressible liquid, such as oil or water. Both, however, are applications of fluid power to make things move. For 10 points each, can you name these engineering terms used in everything from dentistry to mining to operating creatures that jump at you in Halloween haunted houses?
Hydraulics and pneumatics.
Absolutely right for 20 points. Here's your next toss-up. Until 1980, they were known as Basic Educational Opportunity Grants. These U.S. government grants, Wellman.
Pell Grant.
Pell Grants is right, named after Claiborne Pell. So Gladstone, try this 25-point bonus. According to a recently discovered 1885 letter from its designer, an exponential curve was chosen as the design basis for this work. For 10 points, can you name this 300-meter high wrought iron structure?
St. Louis Arch.
Nope, it is the Eiffel Tower. Now, for 15 points, natural logarithms have as their base what named number?
E.
E is right for 15 points and a gold star from Dr. John. Okay, next toss-up. Of their two functions, the most common one is as a pre-modifier. For 10 points, what is this part of speech? Bennett?
Prefix.
Exemplified as big, little, tall. Savoy?
Adjective.
Adjective is right for 10 points. So Marquette, here's a 20-point bonus for you. It was identified as an element back in 1766, but its second stable isotope was not discovered until 1931. That isotope uniquely is almost twice as heavy as its most common form, and also uniquely has been given its own chemical symbol of D. For 10 points each, can you name this element and the isotope?
Hydrogen and deuterium.
That's right, for 20 points. Next toss-up. Lloyd's of London has determined it's no more dangerous than any other piece of ocean, and it doesn't charge higher insurance, Wellman.
English Channel.
Rates for Savoy.
Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle is right, yes, for 10 points. So here's a 20-point bonus for Marquette. In NCAA Division I history, just 2 schools have three-peated by winning 3 consecutive national women's basketball titles. Both have done so since 1966. For 10 points each, can you name those 2 universities?
Tennessee and Connecticut.
Absolutely right for 20 points. Here we go with your next toss-up. If you graph an equation of the form y equals mx plus b, you get a line. What significance does the constant m, Bennett?
Slope.
Slope is right, and another gold star from Dr. John. Gladstone, here's a 20-point bonus. The first U.S. president to travel outside the country while in office did so in 1906 to lay eyes on the ocean-joining construction project that he had championed. For 10 points each, name the president and the project.
Teddy Roosevelt and the Panama Canal.
Absolutely right for 20 points. And here's your next toss-up. Contrary to their popular cinematic image, members of species Carcharodon carcharius attack from below. Savoy.
Velociraptors.
Well, Bennett.
Great white sharks.
Great white sharks is what it is for 10 points, yes. So Gladstone, try this 20-point bonus. Paper and pencils you might need. Ray Bradbury spent $9.80 to type his self-described dime novel, Fahrenheit 451. That was at the rate of 10 cents per half hour to rent a typewriter at UCLA. For 20 points, how many hours did it take him to type the novel? Do we have an answer, Captain?
980.
Nope, it's 49 hours. It was 980, which is 98 dimes at 30 minutes a dime. That'd be 49 hours. So no points on that bonus, which was a little confusing, and we'll go to a new toss-up. The 7th most populous nation has never had an elected government complete its term in office. Savoy.
Pakistan.
Yes, Pakistan. Amazing. Okay. Here's a 30-point bonus for Marquette. Identify this proper noun after 1 clue for 30 points, 2 for 20, or all 3 for 10. First, it was the site of the biblical battle where the Philistines captured the Ark of the Covenant.
Jericho.
Second, it is the name of Martin Luther King Jr.'s Baptist Church in Atlanta.
No answer.
Third, it was the first name of Jacob Marley's miserly business partner.
Ebenezer.
That's right, for 10 points. Next toss-up. Created by Howard Garnes in 1979 with the name Number Place, its popularity overseas led to a name change when it was reintroduced into the U.S. For 10 points, what is this puzzle? Sycamore?
Sudoku?
Sudoku is what it is, yes. So try this 20-point bonus, Marquette. Despite its growing international fame, the satellite TV station continues to lose money because Saudi Arabia has pressured businesses not to buy advertising on it. The Saudis do not like the politically independent newscasts of, for 10 points, what's so-called CNN of the Middle East that is based in what relatively liberal emirate?
Al Jazeera, Qatar. It's Qatar, yeah. Al Jazeera, Qatar.
Absolutely right, for 20 points. Next toss-up. The Pentateuch comprises the books, Savoy,
Torah.
of Genesis through Deuteronomy. The Hexateuch adds, for 10 points, what sixth book? Bennett.
Exodus.
Nope. Marquette, Savoy?
Numbers.
No, it's Joshua. So let's try this one. New toss-up. To an allergist, it is a ragweed genus. To a cook, it is a type of fruit salad. Thompson.
No answer.
To an Olympian, Nyquist.
Waldorf.
To an Olympian, Bennett.
Olive branch.
To an Olympian god, it is the food of immortality, best served with nectar. For Bennett, you can't, I'm not finished. Savoy.
Wine.
For 10 points, what is the shared word? Makowski.
Ambrosia.
Ambrosia is what it is, yes. Okay, 25-point bonus for Gladstone. The last name is the same as that of Wendy, John, and Michael, who went to Neverland with Peter Pan, and the hyper-observant Jessica in the trilogy of teen best-selling books by Megan McCafferty. First, for 10 points, what is the shared last name of these young characters?
Smith.
It's Darling. Remember the Darling family in Peter Pan? Okay. In 2006, a Harvard undergraduate was accused of copying passages from McCafferty's book, Sloppy Firsts, into her own book, Opal Meta. For 15 points, what four-syllable word describes the situation when someone presents another work as his or her own?
Plagiarism. Plagiarism?
That's right, and you get 15 points for that answer. Here we go, and we're at the halftime. We have Gladstone in the lead with 140, Marquette with 110. Great game. Let's give them a big round of applause. And we're going to take a brief break for a few words from Bruce Turner. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Gigi. High School Bowl is the copyrighted format of College Bowl Company. This program may not be reproduced in whole or in part without the expressed written consent of the College Bowl Company. Now, back to Gigi for the second half of High School Bowl.
Thank you, Bruce. And at this time, we are going to review all the past winners in prior seasons of High School Bowl. This is our 29th. In 1977, Gladstone won. 1978 through 1983, Marquette. 1984, Houghton took the crown, and in 1985, Marquette was back. In 1986, Houghton won again, and in 1987, the crown went to Norway. Victors in 1988 were Houghton, and the following year, Norway, followed by Calumet in 1990 and Hancock in 1991. In 1992, Iron Mountain was the winner, and in 1993, Houghton was back again for that year and the following year. 1995 saw Marquette victorious again, and in 1996, Houghton was back. In 1997, Westwood took the crown, and then Hancock in 1998 and 1999 became the High School Bowl victors. In 2000, Westwood were the winners, and in 2001, Hancock took the championship. The 2002 best team was Gwynn. And in 2003, it was Sault Ste. Marie. In 2004, and again in 2005, Gladstone were the victors. And last year, it was Hurley. So stay tuned because we don't know which of these teams it will be in 2007. And we're going to find out in just a few minutes. Here we go with the next toss-up. In 1970, this sport's Santiago was replaced by a new, Thompson.
Baseball.
New football, Wellman.
Soccer.
Soccer is right, or football, yes. So Gladstone, here is a 30-point bonus for you. It has been known since the time of the ancient Greeks that there are only 5 types of solid figures which have congruent regular polygons as faces. These are the so-called Platonic solids. For 10 points each and a maximum of 30 points, name any 3 of the Platonic solids.
Casa, dodeca, and tetrahedron. It's icosahedron, dodecahedron, and tetrahedron.
Absolutely right, and the other 2 are cube and octahedron. So 30 points on that. And another gold star from Dr. John. Okay, here we go with our next toss-up. As legislative secretary of the National American Women's Suffrage Association, Savoy.
Susan B. Anthony.
She lobbied the, Wellman.
Elizabeth Cady Stanton.
She lobbied the legislatures of 15 states, Bennett,
Louisa May Alcott.
to grant women the vote. Her home state of Montana did so in 1914. Thompson.
Harriet Beecher Stowe.
And 2 years later elected her to Congress. Can you name this first female congressperson? Bennett.
Aretha Franklin.
Should have been. Marquette? Audience, anybody know? Jeanette Rankin, right. Okay, let's do a new toss-up. As of 2006, the U.S. was operating 103 of them. Bennett.
Nuclear reactors.
That's right, nuclear power plants, yes. So Gladstone, here's a 25-point bonus. Deuteronomy calls it the Sea of Kinnereth, while Luke's Gospel calls it the Lake of Gennesaret. First, for 10 points, what region of northern Israel provides the most common biblical name for this landlocked sea where Jesus walked on its water?
No, it's not the Red Sea.
Dead Sea.
No, it's the Sea of Galilee. Now, John's Gospel used the modern geographical name for this lake, which John still calls a sea. For 15 points, what is the name taken from the Roman emperor who succeeded Augustus?
Constantine.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Constantine.
No, it is the Lake of Tiberias. So we can't give you any points on that one. We'll move to our next toss-up. In 2006, health officials declared it an epidemic in New York. Bennett?
Bird flu.
New York City. Nyquist?
E. coli.
Where one sycamore.
SARS.
In every, Wellman.
No answer.
In every 8 adult residents is afflicted with this incurable disease. Rutkowski.
Diabetes.
Diabetes is what it is, yes, for 10 points. Okay, Marquette, try this 30-point bonus. Identify this word after 1 clue for 30 points, 2 for 20, all 3 for 10. First, in chemistry, it's a compound in which molecules or ions form coordinate bonds to a metal atom or ion.
Alloy.
Second, in math, it is a number that is the sum of real and imaginary numbers.
Complex.
Complex is right for 20 points. Here's your next toss-up. His early literary mentors were Gertrude Stein and Ezra Pound. Except for his Savoy,
Jack Kerouac.
23 stories, Nyquist,
T.S. Eliot.
My Old Man, and Up in Michigan, he never sounded Bennett.
Hemingway.
That's right, Ernest Hemingway. I thought that Michigan part was going to be. So Gladstone, try this 25-point bonus. Its isotope 252 is a natural emitter of neutrons and is so useful for college lab experiments that the NRC, which does not start with national, underwrites its cost to sell for just $10 per millionth of a gram. First, for 10 points, what is this only element to be named for a U.S. state?
California. Yeah. Californium.
That's right. And for 5 points per word, what federal agency is abbreviated as NRC? And I'll tell you, the first word is not national.
Nuclear Regulatory. Yep. Nuclear Regulatory Committee.
It's commission. So you get 20 points for your answer to that question. And here's your next toss-up. Recent studies indicate that homocysteine promotes hardening of the arteries. Homocysteine is among what group of protein-building acids named, Bennett?
Plaque.
For the chemical group NH2. Bennett?
Ammonias.
Nope. Marquette? Sycamore?
Thrombocytes.
Nope. Amino acids. So, okay, try this toss-up. Nowadays, it's normal for Olympic gold medalists to sign endorsement deals, but it was considered scandalous when this Olympian became the first to do so in 1936. Thompson.
Jesse Owens.
Jesse Owens is right, yes. Nice job. Gladstone, here's a 20-point bonus. They first met at a London banquet in 1918. The 43-year-old former First Lord of the Admiralty was not impressed by the 36-year-old U.S. Assistant Secretary of Navy, and vice versa. 21 years later, however, they exchanged the first of some 2,000 letters and became great friends and allies. For 10 points apiece, can you name these two statesmen?
Churchill and Roosevelt. Yeah. Winston Churchill and Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Absolutely right, for 20 points. Next toss-up. It has a higher percentage of its population at risk of catastrophic floods and famine, Bennett,
India.
than any other, Sycamore,
China.
country. Savoy,
Philippines.
pardon me,
The Philippines.
Wellman.
Madagascar.
Though the size of, Mikowski,
Japan.
though the size of Iowa, Thompson.
Egypt.
It has 120 million people living in one of the most typhoon-prone spots on Earth. Nyquist.
Indonesia.
For 10 points, name this nation that is at the northern end, Ruskowski,
Sri Lanka.
of the Bay of Bengal. Bennett.
Bangladesh.
That's right. Okay, Gladstone, try this 30-point bonus. Visualize a map of the U.S. and tell me, for 10 points each, at what state do Northwest Alabama and Northeast Mississippi meet?
Northwest Alabama, Northeast Mississippi.
Missouri.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yes. Where do Southwest Utah and Northwest Arizona meet? What state?
New Mexico. No. Colorado.
No.
Nevada.
Arizona.
New Mexico.
Say New Mexico.
New Mexico.
That one is Nevada. And finally, where do Southeast Minnesota and Northeast Iowa meet?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
That's right. 20 points on that bonus. Next toss-up. America's oldest military decoration was originally, Savoy,
Bronze Star.
a badge, Wellman.
Purple Heart.
Purple Heart is right for 10 points. So here we go with a 25-point bonus concerning slavery. First, for 10 points, what single South American country had the most African slaves brought to its shores?
South American.
Oh.
Brazil. I don't know.
Guyana.
Captain, do you have an answer, please?
French Guiana.
Nope, it was Brazil. Now, for 15 points, 70% of those Brazilian slaves came from what present-day country, which, like Brazil, was long a colony of Portugal?
Côte d'Azur. No,
Ivory Coast.
that's not a country though.
And Captain, I'll need your answer.
Namibia.
That one is Angola. So that was tough, no points on that bonus. Go to a new toss-up. In 1938, he became the second person ever to refuse an Oscar, one for Best Screenplay for the movie Pygmalion, based on his own play of that name. For 10 points, who was this cantankerous, Irish-born socialist, Bennett?
Joyce.
And socialist and playwright, Wellman.
No answer.
Anybody? Nyquist.
Wild.
Nope, it was George Bernard Shaw, Pygmalion that My Fair Lady was based on. Okay, new toss-up. It has the lowest vapor pressure of any metal, as well as both the highest, Bennett,
Mercury.
highest melting point and the highest boiling point. For Nyquist.
Lead.
For 10 points, name this metal that's used in most incandescent light bulb filaments. Sycamore.
Tungsten.
Tungsten is right for 10 points, yes. Okay, Marquette, try this. This is an algebra story problem. You'll need a little mental math. For 10 points, give me the ages. Tom and Sue's ages add up to 30. Tom is twice as old as Sue. How old is Tom? How old is Sue?
10 and 20.
Which is which?
Which one was the older one? Tom is 20, Sue's 10.
That's right, 20 points. Good job. Next toss-up. It is divided into an eastern half that is part of a nation whose name includes the island's name, and a western half, Sycamore. New Guinea is right for 10 points, yes. Okay, you'll like this one, Marquette. The 21st century update of the board game Clue filled in a lot of backstory and made Mr. Green a reverend, but it kept the last names of all 6 suspects the same. For 5 points each, give me the names of those 5 characters suspected of the killing in Clue.
Mustard, scarlet, white. What was the third one?
Mustard.
Scarlet.
Plum.
Peacock.
Peacock. Okay, I've got mustard, scarlet, white, peacock.
White.
White.
You have white, don't you?
Plum?
Okay, Captain, I need your 5.
Plum, mustard, scarlet, white, peacock.
Absolutely right for 25 points. Next toss-up. This word was coined in a 1929 issue of the Journal of British Savoy.
Quiz.
Astronomical Association. About, Bennett?
Black hole.
About 3 decades before such people actually existed. Nyquist.
Astronomer.
For 10 points. Sycamore.
Astronauts.
Astronauts is right for 10 points, yes. 20-point bonus here. Dan Brown survived a 2006 lawsuit that charged him with plagiarizing the Da Vinci Code, but 2 other celebrated writers weren't as lucky. For 5 points per answer, who in 1978 agreed to pay another author for lifting some 80 passages from the African. Those were lifted for what the highest rated TV miniseries in history, a genealogical look at the family tree of Kunta Kinte.
Roots and Alex Haley.
Right. Now, who in the 1980s lost a plagiarism lawsuit to sci-fi writer Harlan Ellison for borrowing material that went into what futuristic thriller that made an action star of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that's the end of the game. Oh, it was a great one. We have Gladstone victorious with 290 and Marquette with 225. Let's hear it for these teams. Fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, it's just been a fabulous season, a great season, and you're awesome teams, and I congratulate you both. Marquette, terrific season. Gladstone, you did it. You're the champs again, so that's absolutely wonderful. Let's have another round of applause for these guys. Yeah. They're all seniors, too, so we have to say goodbye to them. Now, first we're going to recognize, looks like our winning team. And our winning team is Gladstone. And so to recognize them, I would like to turn the proceedings over to Scott Thumb, who is the Assistant Director of Financial Aid for Northern Michigan University.
Thank you, Gigi. I'd like to congratulate both of you and, of course, your team for being the champions of the 2007 High School Bowl competition and present you with a scholarship for $2,500 for your school for Northern Michigan University. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Gladstone. And now I'd like to turn to Mr. Thumb again as he presents the award to the coach of the Marquette team for their coming in second this season.
So I'd like to congratulate you and your team for being the runners-up in the 2007 High School Bowl competition. Present you with this scholarship for $2,500 for your school for Northern Michigan University. Thank you.
And believe it or not, that almost wraps it up for this season of High School Bowl. We couldn't do it without you viewers. We appreciate your support and viewership, and we want to thank you for a great 29th season of High School Bowl. I think it would be fitting to end with the words of Dave Goldsmith, longtime host of this show, who always taught us that nothing you learn is ever wasted. Good night from High School Bowl, and we'll see you next year.
Questions used in today's High School Bowl competition are researched and authenticated by the Magazine and Editorial Research Department of Time Incorporated. High School Bowl was produced in the Jeanette Woden Studios in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television. Major production funding for High School Bowl is provided by New Page, Escanaba Operations.